SRS is a leading distributor of roofing and building products, offering materials to contractors across the United States. Use the JobTread and SRS integration to browse products and add them to your budget. Then you can place an order directly through JobTread. Begin by connecting JobTread to your SRS Roof Hub account. Head to your JobTread settings, and then click on the Integrations tab. Now you can scroll and select the SRS tile. If you do not have an SRS Roof Hub account yet, go ahead and visit SRS Distribution website to create that account. Now you have two options for connecting your SRS account to JobTread. You can either enter an integration key from your Roof Hub account, or you can enter data from a recent SRS invoice. I'm going to enter the integration key. So first, we'll log into our SRS Online Roof Hub account to access the necessary details. Locate your SRS account number, and then we'll enter it into the JobTread SRS integration settings. Now we'll open the Integrations tab on your Roof Hub account, and that way we can locate and copy the integration key found on the top right. Let's paste that into your JobTread SRS integration settings as well. Now we'll click Connect SRS Account. Once JobTread is connected to your SRS account, select your default SRS branch location. And then you can choose which roles in your company are allowed to use the integration and place orders. Now you're ready to begin leveraging the integration for faster estimating and ordering. You can access the SRS catalog through your job budget or your JobTread catalog. Let's head to a job budget first. And then we're going to open up the Global Catalog by clicking on the small gray Global Catalog button at the bottom of your budget. When we select SRS as your supplier, we can then specify our SRS branch and select the SRS credit account. Then we'll begin browsing our SRS products. We can search for the product, and then we can even choose the specific option. Great, let's add a few more items. Awesome. Now we're going to map the material details that are saved in SRS with our cost item details in JobTread, so everything is pulled in as expected. Start with your cost codes or accounting codes, and then we're going to map the cost types. Now let's map the units of measurement. The SRS units shown here will be included on your SRS order later, so match these similar units with the units of measurement that are saved in your JobTread account. For example, if SRS is using the unit each, you might want to match it to something similar that you have saved in JobTread. Lastly, if you have cost item custom fields, choose to map the additional details from your SRS products to your JobTread cost items so you can pull in all the important details. Now click Add. All selected items are now added to your job budget. The cost added to the budget is the pre-tax cost, as SRS does not provide the tax amount until the ordering and invoicing stage, so therefore it's important to factor purchase tax into the profit margin within your budget. Now let's go ahead and add quantities to each of these items. Almost done. And then let's move them into maybe our materials group, and then we will save our changes. Now let's say that we added these items weeks ago, and let's pretend that the prices are outdated. Well, you can simply select all your items and then choose the mass action called Update Costs from Global Catalog. Now you're going to see the discrepancy from the cost you have saved in your budget and the updated pricing at your SRS location. Choose which items you'd like to update and then simply click the Confirm button to push the updated SRS pricing to your job budget. Now we recommend updating the pricing just before you create a proposal for your customer to make sure that you have the most accurate estimate at that time. We'll create our proposal next by clicking plus document and then choosing our customer order template. Now we can select the items that we'd like to include and click create. We can send our proposal to our customer and add a message if we'd like. And once that customer approves the proposal, you've sold your job and locked in your budgeted cost for the job, which is shown on the job costing portion of the budget. Next in our workflow is to order our materials. We'll do so by creating a vendor order. So click plus document, and then within the vendor order templates, select the SRS order. You'll verify your SRS branch location and then select your SRS credit account for the charge. Now select whether you'd like the materials delivered or if you'd like to pick them up. For pickup, you'll need to specify the pickup date and the time. However, for delivery, we can edit the delivery address and then choose the delivery date. We can also add special instructions to the order if needed. Now, quick note, for SRS, you can also leave the ship date as TBD if you don't know the ship date quite yet, and SRS will hold the inventory until you schedule the job. Now, all budget items that were originally added from the SRS Global Catalog will be listed, and those that have been approved through a customer order are pre-selected. So we can further select and deselect any items for this order, and then we can verify and edit the quantities. Quick note, as you're planning your costs, keep in mind that there may be some additional fees incurred for shipping, handling, and taxes. These will be reflected on your final SRS invoice. So the total listed here is the estimated total used for processing the order. Other fees will be added to the final receipt. Once you're ready, click Submit Order. An SRS vendor order is now automatically created and sent directly to SRS. Awesome work. Now we'll see the SRS order number added to the vendor order number, as well as an SRS View Order Details button on the top right, which will then bring us directly to the associated order in our SRS Roof Hub account. Now within our Roof Hub account, we can track the progress of the order, see the item details, and access the receipt once it's complete. Now let's head back to our job budget and see that the order was added to the committed costs column. This indicates that we have placed the order and have costs committed for each item. Remember, you can also add items from the SRS Global Catalog to your JobTread catalog if you'd like to include them in your budget templates. Simply navigate to your catalog from the main navigation. Then click Global Catalog on the top right. Now don't forget to use mass actions to update the costs from the global catalog once you add these to a job budget. This ensures accurate and updated pricing. Now, if you have any questions, please contact your success manager or email support@jobtread.com.